ringer for 7 years.
I was just going to
The
go
first
to her.
7 years of the child's life, Eric was in and out of court with her, and she pulled all kinds of, like, Eric loves dogs, and she started to get, when Nick, his son, was little, she got him all worried and scared of dogs, and she would say, "Oh, he's scared of dogs." So Eric had to lock his dogs in the basement when she just made him go through all kinds of, she was a nightmare. And so I think that he's so grateful that, because he fought so hard to get to spend time with his son, and I think that he worries that he doesn't want his son to run back to his mother.
Oh, he's scared of her. He's scared of her.
Right.
Yeah. And that's another block with the "I love you," because he doesn't trust himself, because if he made a mistake, he saw his parents make a mistake. That wasn't the greatest vision of love that one could experience at a younger age, watching what he had to watch with his parents, who supposedly loved each other. And then he goes and chooses somebody to have a child with, and then she mentally...
it was an accident. He actually had been dating this other woman.
Yep, you cut out again. Okay, we'll just let everybody know we're having internet problems. And... yeah, we cut out again, so go ahead.
Okay. He had been dating a woman. Okay, so he wasn't in love with his son's mother. He had been dating this woman named Martha for a few years, and she really wanted to have kids and get married, and he did not. So they broke up. I'm not sure if that's why, but they broke up for a few months, and while they were broken up, he hooked up with this girl at the gym, and and then she got pregnant, and he thought he wasn't into her at all.
Right. Well,
and she had the baby. And so he was never really in a relationship with his son's mother.
I understand. I did feel something that he has said those words before and lived to regret it.
Who did?
Eric. I don't know who he said it to, but I'm getting the feeling that aside from his parents, that when he said he loved someone before, it didn't work out, and it wasn't the best experience. So I'm just saying he's going to be slower to say it, but he will be saying it, and it's a life lesson he chose to, whether he supposedly chose to have a child with this person or not. The fact is he did, and now he's got to navigate this for a while. And so how I see you continuing to feel healthy and confident in the relationship is that you not let her controlling, bullying ways affect your love. I feel like you're going to be moving in. It's almost like, okay, racehorse, moving into first place. But I don't feel like you're in first place quite yet, although he's expressing it. And it's not that it's about the son and desperately not wanting his son to feel any kind of wounding. And if he has to kind of keep you out of the spotlight a little bit for some reason, I just know that you are strong and you can work with this, but I would not be surprised if at times you thought, I deserve more.
Yeah, right.
Okay?
Yeah.
I've remarried. I have children. I know that it's something to formally introduce someone to your child and really bring them in, and it's been a good case.
I mean, Nick knows. I mean, Nick has been there for the last 3 days, and I've been there the whole time.
But he doesn't know that he loves you, which, that's fine. Whatever age he is, that's not really important. I don't think he needs to know that.
Right.
But
He's
again,
13.
if you get married, he's going to figure it out. So, I don't think I walked around saying, Dean loves me, or tell me you love me in front of the kids. I don't think that's really important.
No, I don't care about that.
Right. But you do want to be, again, just like you wanted to be taken out to dinner, you want to be told at some point. So what do you feel is reasonable as an amount of time? Maybe I should ask Dean this. I don't think Joe's here to get the camera on Dean right now, but let's ask a man this point of view, shall we? Mm-hmm. So, not that I want to know too many details, but you and I were I think you told me I loved you once you really knew it. But Dean did not say it.
Oh, really? How
right,
long
no,
did it
right.
take him?
He didn't say it as soon as I wanted him to. We don't have to go on the whole silly story, but you said, no, Dean, I think Dean said, I think I love you. He definitely pulled in, I think I love you, ... So stop seeing that other guy
that?
you're dating. Yeah, it's kind of like I was going to be dating another guy. And I was talking to Dean, and we were friends, and Dean and I started talking like all the time. And then one time, let's just start with that. Dean said very seriously.
I said I'm falling in love with you.
Oh, so we did. He was in California, and I was in New Hampshire, so it was very safe. I bet Dean's that kind of person anyway. Once he knew he was. And if he wasn't, he wouldn't say it. Would you agree, Dean? I mean, I don't know. I don't want to hear how many people you've told you love, but
I'm the all-in kind
who wants to hear that, right?
I'm the all-in kind of person.
He's the all-in or all out. I don't think he pretends he loves somebody if he doesn't. He doesn't have that kind of tolerance. But I'm really glad he loves me because I feel like it's not something he throws around lightly, and I do appreciate that.
What's interesting,
Right.
Talk up a little
And you guys are married, right?
We are married. We've been married since August, so it hasn't been that long. We've been dating for like 3 years, so really was kind of whirlwind. He lived in California, and when he said he's falling in love, I was thinking, well, that's great, but you're in California, and I'm in New Hampshire.
Wow.
And then 3 months later after he said that, we're talking on the phone. He had a great job in a beautiful city, Santa Barbara. Like it's like heaven on earth, and he was really a manager of a coffee bean and tea leaf, highly successful job, making a lot of money in a beautiful city. And he just, one day we're talking on the phone, like we'd visit each other, so that was a big thing. After I hopped a plane and went to see him, and then he hopped a plane and came to visit me in August, and then dropped me off at the airport was like, this is horrible. And then he'd like leave me little notes, I'll be back. And I was like, really, you'll be back? And at the end of August, we were talking, and I said, and it just came up. We both decided that he was going to give his notice, and then like 2 weeks later, he rented a U-Haul, packed everything he owned, and drove across the country. We'd only
my gosh.
So it was huge.
Wow.
I was going to say I find
He's gonna say
interesting the book you mentioned, which is of
I
the
can't
different
remember
types
the name.
of I guess you call it stimuli that a person needs for the I love yous or that sort of thing. And
To feel loved.
You had told me that you like to hear it.
See, I like flowers, and I like to hear I love you.
It helped me.
I did tell you that?
Yeah, it helped me.
Before you said it to me?
No, I remember. You used to always want me to say it, and I felt like I was having to say it so much. It just seemed a little odd.
Now you say it all the time. I thought you always were like this.
When you mentioned the book, it made sense to me. Okay, it's just a type of, a character type, and so I just say it all the time. And so we pretty much live that way now. So
it's a thing, yeah. We say it several times a day, and
the book gave legitimacy to her story about it, which helped me to identify that this is an obvious and real character aspect of her, and so it made it easy for me to just comply and
because he wanted to make me happy. That whole thing. That's what your friend said. When someone loves you, they want to do their best if they can.
Right.
We want to be the hero.
He wants to be the hero. It's sweet. Something else was coming to me about this.
Oh, that just reminded me of something else that Eric is doing for me.
Go ahead.
Being the hero, because a couple of days ago when I was leaving his house, I backed into a tree and I dented my car. And then the next day, he backed into my car and broke the headlight. So, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, so he that day, he got the headlight fixed, and he said that he was going to take care of the body work that I did. And I know that's at least $1,000.
That's a showy loves you thing.
Right. Yeah. So I was happy about that. I forgot. Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's a big one.
But
yeah, that's a big
one. Yeah.
Taking out the trash.
What's that?
Taking out the trash. The doing the things. The fixing. The Mr. Fix-It things.
Exactly. Fixing. Right. Making it all better.
Yeah, and also like fixing your car if he can do it, or those types of things. Like I have Dean. Okay, this is another silly thing. Changing light bulbs. I'm not big on changing light bulbs. I have an idea. I'll just share of rolls. I'm comfortable in my relationship, so if Dean says, why don't you change that light bulb? I'm not saying this is good or bad or right or wrong, but for some reason, I didn't grow up changing light bulbs. My dad did it, and I might have had to in my different apartments. I actually don't have no memory of changing light bulbs very much.
Weird.
It's not that I can't.
Right, of course.
But when we have things go out, like the standing on the chair and the whole thing, and Dean's taller than me. I said, "Why you changed the light bulb?" And he did it. So he knows little things.
Another odd thing, because there was I met that whole thing with some resistance, thinking, well, you're very capable of changing a light bulb, and it sounds like you're saying you aren't. But once I got past that, it's okay. I change all the light bulbs now, so that's.
It would mean
the
a
way it
lot
works.
to me. But we've learned again. I really didn't know him, and he drives across the country, moves in with me in a house that I've been living in 15 years and living by myself for at least a year.
Wow.
And I had figured out, I never really figured out how to mow the lawn, so I had a really bad lawn that I feel bad for my neighbors about. But I did learn how to take out the trash quite with capability, and even in a snowstorm, and I was pretty independent. At the same time, I think we've done a really good job communicating. I guess that's what we're talking. Communicating that I would. And he doesn't have to change all the light bulbs. Just like there's just little things I would appreciate it if you did it. Or it would mean a lot. And I'll find a way to. I do like to cook, and they're just little things that if I can't, I take his laundry out. So I think overall it's important to have a balance. I think that's what we've been talking about these past 2 weeks. Is that one person doesn't want to feel like they're carrying the load of the other person.
Right, exactly.
Right.
And
can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm just trying to go back, and since we just have a few minutes left, tell me what reasonable time frame you think is okay for you to say I love you. And Dean, we were going to ask you that. When do you think, it's been 2 months as a guy, do you think that it's time that he throw an I love you in the mix here? Or what do you think?
I think it would be disingenuous to assume to know that, because it's just like the book you talked about has different character types. People have different needs and reasons for what they're doing, and so
you could bring up the book. That's a great way to start a conversation.
Yeah.
I've got this book. I mean, hey, I like to hear I love you. Do you?
If you got into the conversation, you may find that there's more information available to help you understand his position. Yeah,
but I hear what you're saying, Dean. I still feel like as a woman, if you start saying, why don't you ever tell me you love me? It just sets up that whole...
I didn't say that.
Every relationship
but
progresses differently, too. But,
right.
if you're having an intimate relationship, I'd say after 3 or 4 months, there ought to be some indication that you know or you don't know.
Yeah, there's a thing about a 3-month mark.
Yeah, I'll give him a few more weeks. I'll give him another. I think I'll give him
January 25th.
Yeah, okay.
I want to report back.
And beyond that, it may be that there is some, I don't want to call it trauma, but there is some underlying incident historically that has happened that creates a compulsion to avoid doing that, and so that creates a whole different scenario that doesn't fit into the normal paradigms of, hey, 3 to 6 months you need to be saying I love you.
Well, yeah, if he's traumatized and last time he said it or last time he saw it, maybe he can get. But eventually, he cares about you. He's buying you things, showing you love, and the affectionate thing and the texting, I think, is fabulous. So
I know
we've got to run in a minute. I can't wait to catch up with you next week. We'll be on time. So happy New Year, and
thank you. You too. Happy New Year.
And we'll catch up with you next week. And
okay,
much love and many
great.
blessings.
Have a good week.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay, so we're going to run in a minute, and I want to thank you all for joining us today, and wish you much love and many blessings going into the new year, and know that all is well, and this is going to be a great year, and if things come up, it just means that they're coming up to be released and let go of, and it may not always be comfortable, but it means that more good things and wonderful things are on the way, whatever we let go of. The universe always fills a void, so I think during these times, continue to express gratitude for what we have, and I'm very grateful for you all watching. Okay, so much love and many blessings this week, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.